Meow, 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 meow.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another round of I Don't Know What I'm Talking About.
You don't.
Featuring the Flufferton sisters.
Is that their name?
So, we have Sophia Flufferton, and we have Mrs. Floofy Flufferton. I think we all know which one's which.
Do you?
Anyways, moving on. We're getting started here by adding nice shades of purple and blue. Yeah, the cat isn't gonna be purple, but you know, we just gotta add that purple because it's just like a base layer. Like, you know, when you prime a wall, you gotta put white on it. Well, in this case, you know, paintings just need purple. It's just like painting purple. The normal stuff, you know? So anyways, we got our nice little base layer on Sophia, and now we're going into Mrs. Floofy Flufferton.
Time out. Wrong. The names are reversed. This is going to be really interesting. The names are reversed. Anyways, let's continue on from here.
You may be asking yourself, why in the world would you name a pug Mrs. Floofy Flufferton? I mean, they're really not the most floofy.
Also, hold on. It's not a pug. It's a French bulldog. Clarifying that just for a hot second.
Dogs in the entire universe. And you know what? I think you've got a very valid point. And, you know, if I ever meet the owner, I'm going to ask them that myself.
Wait, have you seen fluffy Frenchies before? It is a real thing. We've discussed it in Dirty Chai Sketch Time. There is a real thing. There are fluffy Frenchies. It's like a genetic oopsies, and they're actually fluffy bears. It looks pretty gnarly. Some are cute, some are gnarly. I would see if you can put some pictures up, boop, boop, and see some fluffy Frenchies. But they do exist. It is a real thing.
And it does teeny little stick-like hair floofinesses on this this cat, which is, by the way, totally aptly named. I mean, Sophia. Yeah, that's just very clearly a Sophia. So anyways, again, we kind of run into similar situations where the eyes aren't actually going to be like neon yellow at the end, but you just need that base layer. You know, you just need to really throw on the primer, that yellow primer, before you do the rest of the eye. Because cats, you know, they're just like, they've got that yellow in their soul. And so that's what you got to put behind their eyes to like just really make that shine through, that yellow kind of like
The yellow what does that mean, that like the cat has a yellow soul? Because the eyes are yellow, so therefore the soul is yellow? Wait, what is it? And also, by the way, it's not yellow, it's green. It's not even neon yellow. It's like green. It's like an olive green. Yellow soul?
So, I mean, you'll see when we move on to Mrs. Floofy that the eyes are going to be done totally differently. The dog's soul color is definitely not yellow in this case. It's a, I don't know. We'll find out.
Soul color?
So anyways, moving on. We've gotten back to the thick brush because we got to do those thick strokes. We're done with all the little tiny hairs, and now we're back to the small one. But we were. You know, you just got to go back and forth as necessary. And when you're doing like the eyeliner and stuff like that, you know, you need a little tiny brush. You know, everyone knows. And then when you're doing like those big floofs, you got to go back to the big brush, you know? And then when you got to do the individual little tiny stuff, back to the little tiny brush. Well, this one's actually like, so you can use the big brush to do little tiny stuff sometimes. And you can even use the tiny brush to do big stuff, but it just takes a really, really long time. You gotta do it like that, so I generally definitely don't recommend doing it that way.
Okay, all right. There's a lot of talks about brushes happening right now. Clarifying, I'm using a round brush, size 0, and also a flat angled brush. And with angled brushes, what you can do is get a lot of versatility. If you are doing a chunk of things and you want to have versatility, you can have the flat side be like a flat brush, cover more space, and then you can turn it around, use the tip, and use it kind of like a round brush. Round, tiny, 0 size brushes are best for very long, very intentional hair because they hold more paint and the points are a lot pointier. But with a flat brush, it also does a really good job. That said, never use a tiny brush for a big space. It is just a waste of time. You should use brushes that fit the space properly. In fact, I probably could have used a bigger brush putting in the first couple of layers. So just never put like small brushes and paint the whole thing.
So anyways, back to the eyes, just adding lots of little details. The most important part of any kind of eye is you got to get that like glint. So like, you know, if the eye is like the completely wrong color and shape and size, but as long as it's got that little like glare from like the flash or the sun or the light or anything like that, looks good. Doesn't matter what else you do to it, as long as it's got those little like white spots in the right spot.
Stop. Okay. It does matter what the shape and size and color and everything about the eye. And that does matter. Just because you have a glint in the eye does not make the eye great. Yeah, that's all I want to say. It does matter. You do want the eye to look like an eye. If you just had a blob and put a dot in, it is not an eye.
So now we're going to move on to Mrs. Floofy.
Sophia.
Again, starting with the big brush. Obviously, you know, inside of ears are pink, so we're going with pink. And then that's like pretty much the only thing. So then we're going to move on to like hair color, the brown. And then, yeah, see, as you can see here, Mrs. Floofy's eyes reflect the soul. It's a blue soul in this situation. You know, I've noticed a lot of dogs have blue and green soul. You know, a lot of cats have that yellow.
I have a question, husband. You noticed that most dogs have green and blue souls. When did you notice such thing? And when can we discuss this observation you've made? Have you been keeping tallies of what color souls dogs have? I have many questions, and I hope you do answer them, because I don't understand how your professional opinion is that dogs have blue and green souls. Moving on, because don't know what you're talking about.
Dogs with the green soul is like a little in between. It's like not quite a blue soul, not quite a yellow soul, so you get like a green soul. But anyways, so you got that nice little blue going in there, nice little pinks in the ears, and now we can kind of move on to the brown. Oh yeah, there's also blue in the snoutal region.
Snoutal.
Why is there blue in the snoutal region? Anyways,
you're not even trying anymore.
The fur is brown and like black.
Okay, the fur is not brown or black. I'm very concerned for your ability to tell what colors are right now. The Frenchie's a white Frenchie. There's a tint of like tan in the ears, and there's definitely like gray for shadows, but like has been no black and has been no brown. Just hasn't been any brown or black. If you meant like tints of like tan and gray, sure. But I don't know where you got that this Frenchie is brown and black.
So now, as you can see, we're adding the eyeliner again. And the blacks of the eyes. And then you can already see it right here. You've got that little white dot that just makes the eye, just makes it look real. It's so real. And now going over you know, adding little tiny details to the mouth, and like, it's basically like, you know, when you have a coloring book, you got to put the outline in. That's what we're doing right now. You got to put the outline in, and then when you're done with the outline, you can go ahead and just like fill in the rest of it, and you just have to stay inside the lines.
Okay, false. Painting watercolor is not like a coloring book. Actually, I'm a little bit offended and insulted that you would compare it as such, because first of all, coloring books, the lines are made for you. Second of all, that is the exact opposite of what we've been doing. We've been filling in all of the colors first of light layers and then going in and doing the darks, and they're not outlines, they're shadows, the darkest shadows of the fur baby. Do not outline your realistic illustrations. It will not be realistic anymore. Myself, there are no outlines of black around my hands. I just want to make that clear. Painting watercolor is not like a coloring book.
So as you can see, Sophia is like a really dark, just like darks, blacks, all that stuff. Obviously, Mrs. Floofy is not like quite as dark a general color.
It's not black or brown.
You still got to start with that grayish black in the background, so that when we add the lighter colors in front of it, you know, it just goes from dark to light, and you don't want to like put the darks on top of the lights, because if you do that, then it's just going to get dark again. But like, we don't actually want it to be dark. We just want it to like look the correct color.
Okay. False. Yet again. Are we surprised? I think this is just what the theme is for this whole entire video. But you do want to go back in and put layers to make things darker. In fact, that is how you make things darker in a watercolor. And that is intentional, and that's what you should be doing. You do light to dark, not dark to light, because if you do dark to light in a watercolor, you're going to have to do a lot of fixing and lifting to make it the right color. So you always put layers from light to dark, and you do want to layer things on to make them darker. I repeat, everything he just said was false.
Yeah, so obviously you get that tongue, you get that blep, and that's how you know.
He knows it's a blep.
That's how you know it's like the blepiest. See, that's probably why they named it Mrs. Floofy.
It's not Miss Floofy.
Because of the blep.
What?
Because bleps and floofs, they just go together.
What?
You know, like peanut butter and jelly.
No.
Or like, you know, anything else, like the keys in my pocket and the headphones I'm listening to. Just things go together well. Anyways.
Okay, first of all, dear husband, you just don't have the right name. Okay? Sophia is the Frenchie, not the pug. This is not a pug, it's a Frenchie. And there's no correlation between Fluffy and Blep. This is false. There's no correlation. I hope people learn this in just day-to-day just tools and skills to adult. The news sometimes say because of this is why this has happened. Most likely there's no correlation. Correlation happens with scientific proof and validation. Just because you like your headphones and your mic doesn't make it's a great match. Just because someone has a blep and his name is and because it's Fluffy, I don't even know what the correlation you're trying to make here. Okay. False news brought to you by my husband.
With Mrs. Floofy here, we're doing some more outlines. Because, you know, if we don't do the outlines, then we don't have anything to color in.
There's no outline.
And we always, you know, that's the whole point of what we're doing.
No!
Color the dog in. You know, this is just a more difficult. It's like taking a coloring book and just multiplying it by 100.
What?
Because we have to do our own outline. And then we look at it and we say, we're done. Goodbye.
Yeah, you're definitely done. that was interesting and very incorrect. So I think it's safe to say that whenever my sweetly misinformed, completely unprofessional artist of a husband, I can't even call him an artist at this point, whenever he does these videos, it has to be very clear that he does not know what he's talking about. This is all false. All of it. I think there might have been one or two correct moments, like when he was saying that green is from blue and yellow. However, no souls are involved in that. Other than that, like, false. Just false. Okay. Have a good night.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching the video. Go ahead and hit subscribe, leave a comment, or you can visit my website or Instagram in the description below. Thank you!